I'm completely sold now. This is amazing.
Kennedy.
This is
Thanks,
incredible.
Mom and
Thank
Dad.
you so
Thanks,
much.
Mom and Dad.
Oh my
Thanks,
goodness.
Kathleen
Oh my
Kennedy.
goodness.
Thanks for
I'm
fixing
learning
Star
so
Wars.
much.
Now we're
Oh
back.
my goodness.
Yay!
I'm fixing
Yay!
Star Wars.
It's
You're
you know,
bringing us
this,
back
I'm
now.
just so
Thanks,
happy
Kathleen
now.
Kennedy.
I'm so
Thanks
glad
for
it's back.
fixing
Star Wars is
Star
back.
Wars.
Now
Baby.
we're back. Yay!
What once has united us has been weaponized and turned against us, like a giant army of replicants designed to silence us, designed to slander us, designed to falsely accuse and shame fathers and sons. Fathers and sons, mothers and daughters who have built this fandom, fathers and sons who have made these franchises successful, who are now forced to defend ourselves and defend our myths. Welcome to the battle in our current social war that was declared to defend our very own freedom of speech and to defend the very integrity of stories, characters, and our own characters as individuals and as a collective. Hail the fandom menace. YouTube standards now, this video will be ancient. I don't care anymore. I did this post, and I'll put it on the screen here just now. And this was Gary's idea. I'm neurotic. He had mentioned that, you know, it's like this is great and all, but it's like and he had said this beforehand. It's like, great, so you made a good Ant-Man movie. You know, this is a side job. This is a side character. This is a side business. This is literally your second business. This is your secondary side business to the whole thing, the whole debacle. This is, if you're Subway, this is your pickles. I'm Pickle Rick! This is not going to save anything. It's not going to bring people back. Rise of Skywalker will tank, and then it's just it doesn't matter. So, but it's funny that this is going on during the same time, and I remember that it'll probably kick up the numbers for the Rise of Skywalker just because you're getting more people in the mood for it. So you're gonna have the people who are addicted to this, like me, who will, you know, be in the mood to go see it because of that, because of the possibilities that are there, because of, you know, just because you're brought back into the, you know, thinking that something's going to be that's going to be coming out of this that'll be good. I'm not a fan of the whole new school intro with the helmets reminding me of bad Star Wars when they showed Kylo Ren's helmet in the mix of the revolving helmets. It seemed a little too plastic to me. The Mandalorian is tracking for his next in a line of targets on this snow and ice blanketed tundra, only to reveal an isolated quiet bar with almost no rules. The first two speaking characters have swapped their speaking styles, and this removes me from the show completely. He's the first bounty guy who gets frozen first, and this alien character shouldn't be talking like a regular person. He shouldn't have this regular person for me personally, and I know that I've spoken to a couple other people about this. They don't care about it. For me personally, it just takes me out of it. It's like, okay, this is just a dude in a mask because it's just a dude talking normally. And I know that they're trying to subvert us. They're trying to get us into believing that. But for me personally, you got to have a little bit of a different speaking style. They can speak basic, and that's what everybody thought, was assuming that they must speak a different language. They can speak basic. They don't have to speak a different language. It's just if they're going to have this big old alien mask on, they've got to have some sort of something that takes me away from them being just a regular dude with a mask on, especially because you could see the details of his masks or of his face so well through the mask. Anyway, that's just my opinion. And they like switched him, so the guy that was interrogating him and trying to get some of his glands for perfume, I think it was perfume. It's like they're trying to use his glands for some way that was going to benefit them. He was the one that was talking like the alien would be talking in an alien tongue, and they're trying to switch our tastes for that. But for me, and I get that. It's just for me personally, it didn't work. Blaming the Mandalorian for his drink being spilled when it clearly falls before the door opens. This was completely overdone and unnecessary, and I guess it's a reason for him to get into a fight. I get it. And it resolved the scene well. It was, to me, it was like over the top. The bartender finally translates and ends up chopping the Quarren in half. I don't know. That's, I mean, all of this stuff works. It works. It's just a little, I don't know. I have no idea. I'm still trying to process it, so please forgive me. I love Star Wars. I want it to succeed. I want this to succeed. I want this to be awesome. It's fun. It's just, part of me thinks that it, you know, I have a hard time forgiving him for what they've done so far. Like, apparently, so why does he get him with get the Quarren with the grappling hook? He has to pull him, get him, and then just because he's getting away. It's like he's not, like, what is he gonna do? Like, tell on you? Like, it was kind of a weird moment. To me, that didn't, I mean, it didn't work. If you think about it logically, it didn't work. But he did it to cut somebody in half, so. Then the alien opens his mouth, and he's just a regular dude with an alien mask. Don't get me wrong, he was funny. He was a good character, and he delivered, you know, all the stuff. The first time ever, you know, the bathrooms have been addressed in Star Wars. And he was funny. He was it was just completely the wrong voice and demeanor for that type of role. And don't get me wrong, I know it worked. It worked for the scene. It worked for what they were trying to do. Just for me, it didn't. It felt less like Star Wars. Was interesting. Playing a flute to conjure the cab. It looks like an anteater. The one that we first saw was the one who was ratting out our original crew in A New Hope. Mandalorian pays more to get rid of the droid, which is interesting. Droids are, you know, they're a way to record information, that type of thing. So it sounds like the Mandalorian is going to have to be really warmed up if IG-11 and he end up being buddy cops, or probably not. It seemed, I mean, I don't know. Part of me thinks that they won't be, because Taika Waititi plays the IG-11, and I'm sure he's busy directing Thor. Is that it looks like IG-11 won't be back in any other episodes. And then the guy who picks them up, I actually, at first glance, I thought it was Louis C.K., but it's Brian Posen. P-O-S-E-H-N, Posen, Brian Posen. I thought he was Louis C.K., and then the alien notices that he is looking for Ravanax, apparently the sea creatures who hunt above the surface for prey, just above the ice, and apparently they leave their feces right near the port, or at least they were talking about feces being left near the port. I do enjoy the blue fish alien character for this contribution to the levity of this episode. However, I find it hard to buy some of what he says. He basically explains that he has no confidence in the ship just from the looks of it, so he offers to pay for another ship to fly just to make the experience more comfortable. And I guess this character is pretty well off, so obviously he's offering money, he's throwing money around. This was weird in that he was making such outlandish offers. The dialogue is pretty frivolous. I mean, he is saying that the whole time that they are on their way to the ship when he was looking for the Ravanax and the potential threat that they might implore. But then when they are at the ship, he asks, "Do you really think there's something to worry about?" And it felt really inorganic. And once I'm just being really nitpicky, so please forgive me. I know it was a fun show. It was a fun episode. It was fun. I gave it a 6.7 out of 10. Dank Farik, that's a nice little swear word. Dank Farik, that was close. That's one of their little Karabast moments. That's the understatement of the millennium. Then he says the line, "Is it true that you guys never take off your helmets?" When we have already seen many take off their helmets in the Clone Wars, and Sabine Wren and her taking her helmet off. That was, I mean, I guess, you know, I'm like slowly accepting all this stuff, I guess. I don't know. So I guess the character is a fledgling mithril, and he is about to evacuate his thorax. Gotta go evacuate my thorax. Pardon me, I gotta go evacuate my thorax. This was the first time we have ever seen bathrooms in Star Wars, and it does remind me of when I used to follow Pablo Hidalgo, and he used to make jokes about, because people would ask him stupid questions about Star Wars bathrooms all the time. And he would do these funny, back when I used to follow him, and he was a semi-good guy. He seemed like a good guy, at least, I mean, he would do this thing where he would do like draw a bot a day, and so he would be drawing Transformers, and he would be drawing a certain Transformer a day, and he ended up getting really good at it, and it was cool. I was following him, and it was fun to watch him do it. So anyway, for whatever that's worth.